Here in the shadow of St. James' neo-Gothical Cathedral Church in Toronto, hundreds of medieval reenactors are protesting in solidarity with 13th century peasants. Having renounced most worldly possessions and surviving on whatever they can scavenge, protesters are sending a clear message that there are more important things in life than personal hygiene. Calling themselves Occupy Toronto, protesters have pitched their tents on a muddy tract of land that was once a lovely public park. Now, they're not sure how long they'll stay. In fact, many of them are not really sure what they're doing at all, except sticking it to the man, that is. But a few protesters do have a clear idea of what they're protesting. This man is protesting the lending of money at interest, a practice commonly known in the Middle Ages as usury, and it was heavily frowned on by the Catholic Church. A few others are protesting the demeaning practice by rich merchant women of using malnourished university students as human horses to drag their cars in order to reduce their carbon footprint. And some are even calling for a so-called Robin Hood tax. This woman was burned out of her castle by a band of marauding dragons. She only escaped with whatever she could carry. But it's not all disorganized. Here at the foot of the cathedral, volunteers work at the food tent cooking up local fowl. It is in this library tent that the fire of Western civilization is kept lit in these dark ages, preserving famous literary works of antiquity by authors such as Karl Marx and Barack Obama. This gentleman is a dark wizard, a profession hit hard in the recent economic recession. He says there's not much work for dark wizards these days due to government austerity measures, and he says that many of his colleagues have had to give up wizardry and go back to college. John of Nottingham is a wandering dog trainer. He's frustrated with the mentality in society that he believes is backwards, and he has a clear message for Prime Minister Stephen Harper.
Do good for your country first. There's a lot more poor here than we can't even survive with our own.
He's also lobbying for the construction of a pub in the camp.
I'm a little slow in the brain today.
Okay.
Told you, I need a little couple of beers in me and then I know my brain works. It's one of those long, drowsy days.
But by later in the week, prospects were looking grim, and protesters prepared for the worst. Even the communists did their part to enlist volunteers for what they are calling a class struggle. Here, protesters hold mass before going into battle. The atmosphere is solemn, as many know they will not return.
Remove our hands. Clear our minds.
Hours later, the battle is over. It's not clear yet who won, but one thing is certain: the slaughter was horrific. Here, some protesters have displayed the severed heads of their enemies, an open warning to those who would take advantage of the unemployed.